emergencies, disaster, part two. There was this internet news with the coronavirus in Seattle, Washington, and it said, no volunteers, or not enough. There's too few. No volunteers to help with some stuff, And I went straight to the internet to try to find some place to get connected. Nowhere. Vaccine trial applications. The National Guard being deployed. And the news has been saying, how bad off we are, how scary, how frightening, all the schools closing and the lack of response from the federal government. And the people downtown are very similar. They're still out, walking around with cell phones, doing behavior routines and habits they have normally so that people can, do stuff in the world. Conspiracy theories about the world. But observable from looking consciously and recognizing the rats in a maze. The rats got their stimulus, and not to be rude, the humans got their stimulus, in their maze. And they're getting towards a reward. And they want that the whole time. So they do. No cares, no worries, they just go. At the same speed as a drug addict, at the same speed as a neuroscience researching psychiatric, psychological, medical school applicant. And as fast as those people who listen and watch keep their awareness and tension consciously ready. Their eyes are more scary than the wolves. Their voices are more groggy than the rain outside. And their attitude disrespects the body, brain, and mind. Their attitude disregards how itchy and scratchy it makes a person who knows how to be safe, where to go in an epidemic, pandemic, with the heroin and everything, and now coronavirus and, in an earthquake and a disaster. Except when the person like me arrives, maybe, those people have known for the whole time, doing nothing, just doing drugs, just having, a good old time. Where the physically fit person will end up. They know what they will look like. They can physically, mentally, and visually identify them and hear the clarity and sincerity in their voice. And then they have an option, a choice. They can get a thrill and they can get a big old body reaction with some chemical or hormone, saying, go ahead. because they're the gang down the street and they see camouflage and get panicked and declare there's a white racist nationalist in the area. And then the person visiting the person next door, and the person visiting the person down the hall, and then the person that's visiting the person a few doors down. Well, they're interfering and getting their survival benefits from the chemicals that those people they're seeing and hearing in those homes. There's no words to describe the difficulty with all of these components and parts and disfigurement. When not only the economical, not only the physical, and not only the brain and the mental and the relaxation from overcoming a pandemic, and then people having better body, brain, and mind, better awareness, more focused and concentrated attention, and less yelling and screaming and complaining and whining about emotion. Going out for a normal reward or a normal stimulus and not interfering with the person who does still do those activities. There's always a stimulus from the government. There's always a freebie. But the more and more the years go by, and the more the seconds and the hours and the weeks and the months pass, the more harm will come to those who are surviving with their consciousness, those who are surviving with their bodies, brains, and minds high on drugs. And slowly the brain, mind, and body from a person who knows what to do in scariness, in a problem, gets killed by these people, gets murdered by these people, gets cancer because they can't smoke enough cigarettes to get their awareness and attention back, drink so much liquor just to not hear their voices in the halls and through the walls. And never have babies, never have children, never have kids to inspire and motivate future folks. Quietly never say another sound. And never look at their faces. The response in an emergency or emergencies, coronavirus, earthquakes, require drastic and hard choices and decisions, not made in the past, not made now, not made yet. To stop the brain thinking and thought and the brain dominance in the world. eyesight, ears, mouth. Holy gosh. Important to survive. Call for help, listen for danger, see a safe place to go. And all three of them disrupted every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth, and farther into the future. When a drug addict doesn't have a blink, when a drug dealer, when a thug, when a gang member, when some creepy stranger gets excitement from movement, voice, and cause misdirection and cause panic, and say words for psychology, say words for the brain, and use language to control and have power, and disregard the body as a source of mercy and the end to suffering. Food, water, medical supplies, assistance. Colors, clothing with NASA on your sweatshirt, like earlier today with an army camo hat. These symbols and these objects and these words and these describable parts attached to a human body with their colored hair and the sirens they make outside, and the Seattle Police Department they have nearly on every single stretch of the streets downtown. Aren't people and folks and humans trying to liberate Earth and the world, to make, their rules solve the problems? They're making laws, they're making restrictions to have their consciousness free and their body controlled with their mind and brain, minding the body. And freedom has to do with speed. Go as fast as you can find a crack addict going and just go, go, go. But when you go too slow and you get next to the drug dealer and they have on their NASA hat and they have on their gold chain and they have a history with the world as a veteran, they have a history with the world of wisdom, then the direction changes. They send you, you go, you get confused, they yell, they threaten, you stay, and they could kill you. There's no answer for the explanation. There's no quick and easy decision making in place. There's a body, brain, and mind needed with freedom. The end.